Hi, I'm Jocelyn Makasare, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Parvatibai Chogle College of Arts and Science, Margao. Today, we are going to start with the first module of cell biology and plant biochemistry. The program is Bachelor of Science, subject Botany, the 5th semester. Your paper code is BOC 106. The title of the unit is Techniques in Cell Biology and the module is 1, Phase Contrast Microscopy. The outline, you will study about the principle, working and applications of phase contrast microscopy. The learning outcomes states the principle of phase contrast microscopy, explains the working of phase contrast microscopy and describes the applications of phase contrast microscope. The introduction. A phase contrast microscope is a special illumination technique used in optical microscopy to study primarily transparent and colorless specimens. Here, a special condenser with an annular stop and a special objective with a phase analyzer is used to study the living cells. Here there is no staining as such, so that's why the cells appear to be transparent without stains. If you use stains, the cells get killed. So that is why phase contrast is a very excellent technique to study living cells without staining. This technique was actually discovered by Fritz Zernike in 1932. And he was also awarded a Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 1953. The principle of phase contrast microscopy is to convert the different degrees of phase retardation of light rays passing through a translucent material into amplitude differences to create an image with increased contrast. Amplitude difference is actually the contrast, the lightness or the darkness of an image. The objects that we use for normal light microscopy are called amplitude objects, but the objects that are used for phase contrast microscopy are called phase objects. Here, phase objects are either transparent or colorless specimens which do not cause a considerable change in color or brightness, but only a tiny change in the optical path of light passing through them. We move on to the working of a phase contrast microscope. Even a normal compound microscope can be used as a phase contrast microscope with two essential components, that is a phase annulus and a phase plate. A phase annulus is also called as a condenser annulus or an annular stop, and a phase plate is also known as a phase analyzer. This is the difference between the two, the phase annulus and the phase plate. The phase annulus is an opaque circular disc with a thin transparent ring. It is located below the condenser. And the phase plate, it is an optical flat disc with a groove called as the phase ring. The phase plate is located at the focal plane of the objective lens. This is a block diagram for the optical pathway of a phase contrast microscope. We have the light source, the phase annulus, condenser, your specimen, objective, phase plate and the image plane. Now we shall discuss all these components in detail. The light source is primarily a tungsten halogen lamp, and there is a condenser lens which directs the illumination and focuses it on the phase annulus. Now the phase annulus converts the cylindrical beam into a hollow cone which then interacts with the specimen. Here the light traverses through the specimen. Some rays will get diffracted depending on the density and refractive index of the specimen. Here density and refractive index play a very important role of the specimen in the formation of your image. Phase retardation. Now the phase, there is something called as phase retardation. The diffracted rays are retarded by about 1/4 of the wavelength when they interact with the specimen. And now these rays are said to be out of phase with the non-diffracted light rays. The objective collects both the diffracted and the non-diffracted rays. The next component is the phase plate. Now the phase plate causes another retardation by 1/4 of the wavelength. So now the total retardation in wavelength is half. The non-diffracted rays pass through the phase ring, while the diffracted rays the non-diffracted rays strike the phase ring, and the diffracted rays pass through the phase plate. The image formation, the diffracted rays, the phase retarded as well as non-diffracted rays take part in the image formation. Now there is a interference pattern that has been caused. The phase difference is converted into amplitude difference, and a destructive interference causes a dark contrast and a constructive interference causes a light contrast or a bright contrast. Now a dark contrast is also called as your positive dark phase microscopy, and negative contrast or bright phase contrast microscopy. In negative or bright phase contrast, the specimen appears to be brighter than the background. Now the background is formed by non-diffracted rays. It is of normal intensity, and therefore in negative phase contrast the specimen appears to be brighter, and in positive or dark phase contrast the specimen appears to be darker and well defined against a normal intensity background. We move on to the applications. The study, phase contrast microscopy is very useful in the study of microbial motility, especially in bacteria and some eukaryotes. Here the structures of cilia, pseudopodia, flagella can be studied. Cytology and dynamics of live prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Dynamics will be cell growth, cell division, detection of bacterial components such as endospores and inclusion bodies. Endospores are asexual spores present in bacteria, and inclusion bodies will be aggregates of proteins. Observations of materials such as lithographic patterns, fibers, latex dispersion, glass fragments, etc. A modern phase contrast microscope coupled with electronic enhancement and post-acquisition image processing enables minute detection of even subcellular particles. These are the references. Thank you.